right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Temperatures this morning starting off in the teens and 20s yet again. It was cold, but we are going to see some improvement. Why these days are going to be in the rearview mirror, and when we're going to see 70 degrees or very close to it again.
Celebrating TJ. He was a young boy who drowned at summer camp. Tonight, his parents' mission on his birthday to turn their grief into action. Our top story. It's been 1 year since a tragic crash in downtown St. Louis forever changed a Tennessee teenager's life.
In a way, it made a lot of people pay attention to what they've been ignoring for a long time.
Tonight, a progress report on the efforts to make St. Louis streets safer. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. It was exactly 1 year ago tonight. Janae Edmondson lost her legs in a crash while in town for a volleyball tournament. Just 2 weeks after the tragedy, St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones signed the Safer Streets Bill, what was supposed to be an historic investment to improve road and pedestrian safety. But where do those projects stand? 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski is live downtown. Laura.
Mike, according to the city's own website, there hasn't been a whole lot of movement on any of these traffic calming measures. But that is desperately needed after just a week ago, 2 women were killed crossing the street. 17-year-old Janae Edmondson was crossing the street on February 18, 2023, when her life as she knew it changed forever. She was hit by a speeding driver and lost her legs. And now, roughly a year later, another family is grieving after a mom and daughter were hit and killed by a speeding driver leaving Drake's concert. What happened to Edmondson heavily affected St. Louis in 2 major areas, one being the circuit attorney's office and the other streets plagued with traffic problems.
How can we teach our teenagers how to drive in a city where the rules of the road feel more like suggestions?
Those were Mayor Tashara Jones' words as she signed the St. Louis Safer Streets Bill nearly 1 year ago, allocating more than $47 million to traffic calming and road improvements. Since then, the city's own website shows only a little more than $392,000 of that money has actually been spent.
What I have discovered as mayor is that it takes a long time from the time that the money is passed by the board and approved by the board of E&A to the time from the design to RFPs to when we actually see the work in our communities. And so that work is happening, and people should start seeing that work start this year.
We could see plans to fix the city's top 10 intersections with the most crashes sometime this spring, as construction is scheduled to start between October and December. 3 of those intersections are Broadway in Washington, Grand and Forest Park Parkway, and Kings Highway in Lindell.
We don't have to wait around for more people to die. We can take action now.
That's Aubrey Byron, the co-chair of the Community Mobility Committee. She says temporary solutions could have been put in place while the long-term plans move through the process that takes years to implement.
You can put up plastic bollards to help narrow lanes and slow traffic. We can have curb bump outs that make it safer and narrow the crossing. And most importantly, we can put crosswalks down. If pedestrians have the right of way, our infrastructure should show that. And in so many places, the crossings are almost gone.
Byron says the city desperately needs a mobility and transportation master plan, which the mayor has set aside $1.25 million for. But as of today, none of that money has been spent. For the last several years, it's been the aldermen. It was up to them to make the streets in their wards as safe as possible and do what they can. Reporting live from downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
A chilly night across St. Louis tonight. Warmer temperatures melted away a lot of that snow and ice that fell on Friday. You can see there are still a few patches that are left there in fluorescent. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank is here to tell us about some spring-like weather this week, right, Gary?
Yeah, it's one of the few times that we haven't been able to look outside and it's completely bright without sunglasses, right? The albedo off of the snow, that reflection of the light, finally going to start to wind down tomorrow. And it was really those areas in the shade that didn't get that melted snow, like Highland or Cuba, you see, is really in the full sunshine throughout most of the day. And we really have seen clear skies, even though it was cold for the first part of the day. A lot of sunshine has helped melt almost all the snow that it was in the direct sunlight. The shaded areas, we'll probably get that tomorrow. Off to our west, that storm system will affect us down the road, but it's not for a while. Our temperatures are at least a little milder and even in some cases above freezing at this hour. A little cooler though in Alton and Edwardsville, below freezing at 27 and 28. Area-wide though, it's warmer. It's above freezing in areas off to our southwest, and that's the air that we're going to be in. Not only tonight, as we stay in the mid to upper 20s, right around 30. Not as cold, I think, overall with light winds the next few days. We've got more melting on Monday. Very warm again. We cannot stress that enough. It's not going to feel like February again. We had 1 or 2 days, which we'll talk about how that impacted our overall averages, and then talk about the potential for stronger storms, severe weather somewhere in the region, how that's more likely than snow to finish off the month.
We are partnering again with It's Every Child a Swimmer with TJ Story to be able to provide scholarships for at-risk youth. That way everyone can become water safe.
Just hours ago, a bowling fundraiser was held in memory of TJ Mister, the young boy who drowned at summer day camp in 2022. Tomorrow would have been TJ's 8th birthday. 5 on Your Side's Anna Kroll talked with his parents about their mission to keep other kids safe.
6-year-old TJ Mister drowned during a St. Louis County-operated summer camp in July of 2022. Sunday was the second annual Bowl for TJ's birthday at Shrewsbury Lanes, fundraising for free swim lessons.
We want to make sure we give back to community in a way, bring our family and friends together, and have fun, because that's what he always loved to do.
Including TJ's former teachers at Bayless Early Childhood Center.
TJ was super sweet. He was always a really happy kid when he came to school, and he was really funny.
And he never met a stranger, so he was friends with everybody, friendly with everyone, and always just had a smile on his face.
The Misters settled a lawsuit against the county for $8 million a year after TJ's death. They also advocated a bill called TJ's Law, put forward in the Missouri House in 2023, but didn't make it out of committee.
The goal is to, have the law changed to protect the kids, so another family isn't going through what we're going through. So that's the ultimate goal.
Goldfish Swim School has about 1,100 students here in St. Louis. After they heard about TJ's story, they wanted to help to make sure no children would ever drown. In fact, they started a 6-month scholarship that's free for eligible children who are as young as 4 months old.
We want them to get safe in the water. We want them to be comfortable in the water so they're not scared when they get in for the first time. So we start lessons at 4 months old. So we say earlier the better.
Reporting in Shrewsbury, Annie Kroll. 5 on Your Side.
TJ's Foundation has already surpassed its goal, raising more than $3,000 for swimming lesson scholarships. If you're interested in donating, we have more information at KSDK.com. A new bill is making its way through the St. Louis Board of Aldermen that would make it easier for business owners to get liquor licenses. For years, bar and restaurant owners needed to gather approval to serve liquor from the majority of people living and operating within a 350-foot radius of their business. Christina Robles co-owns Padrinos on Grand. She says the process was lengthy and took about 5 months to complete, and she adds the delays can mean a lot of lost revenue.
Really, without liquor, you wouldn't be making a whole lot of money. It's 25% more sales revenue when you do have liquor. But then it's also the responsibility of the restaurant or the bar to control the people that come in. So if you're not doing your part, I can totally see why residents could get apprehensive.
The new law would allow business owners to apply for a temporary license as it undergoes the approval process. The bill will have a third reading before the board votes on whether to put it on the mayor's desk. Tonight, many came out to pay their respects to late Bridgeton Mayor Terry Briggs. A visitation was held at Collier's funeral home. Briggs died unexpectedly last week. He was 68. A funeral mass will be held tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Holy Spirit Church in Maryland Heights. Bridgeton will hold a special election on April 12th to fill the remaining 3 years of Briggs's third term. Candidates can begin submitting petitions to the city clerk's office on Tuesday.
Spreading the love.
It just really touched my heart.
The heartfelt gesture of students that made a difference for nursing home residents on Valentine's Day. A streaming settlement worth millions. Tonight we verify if you're owed some cash.
Temperatures a little cooler, but they improved today, and they'll continue to do so. In fact, finishing off the rest of the month tells us warmer than normal air continues. Where we stand so far this month and why it's more likely we'll see thunderstorms before snow again.
Tonight on Sports Plus, we have the story of a collegiate record breaker and racing history maker, as well as a chat with the two most intense members of St. Louis City SC. Rowan Berkey and Tim Parker are fiery on the pitch and good friends off of it. We're talking Season 2 expectations, leadership styles, and how these guys pass the time away from City Park.
You know, it's pretty unique. We have an exclusive club within this club. It's called the Parcheesi Group. And Roman has found a hot streak to start the year in preseason.
We had some fun ahead of City SC's second season in action. See you in about 20 minutes for Sports Plus.